Hello and welcome back to Monster Hunter Freedom Unite for iOS, where today we've got an urgent quest to do. And I've cleared all but one of the quests other than the urgent quest here. And it's just this one right here, because it turns out that Diablos has more HP than a G-rank Diablos, though it does slightly less damage, but yeah, I'll wait till I've got G-rank gear to deal with that. But yes, it's a Cantor time. I hate this arena. Just for the record. Oh boy, and they start us right in here. That's a thing. Okay. Not 100% certain where he's going, but I found him. Okay. Oh, I've got a different cat with me. This one is an impact cat that has para. Just because I figure, hey, might help keep some monsters still, though it looks like it's probably not going to be too much help against a Cantor here. Okay. Let's drink this nutrient. And there we go. Now we're ready to actually get into the... Seriously, guy? You have other attacks. You can do more than just burrow constantly. I know this to be a fact. Charged for just a moment too long. I brought plenty of flashes and the stuff to make plenty more because I am aware that flashes are pretty good at keeping this big guy still. And as an added bonus, in the second gen games, flashes didn't have diminishing returns, so basically the first flash and the last flash will stun him for the exact same duration. So basically when he enrages, he is going to be flashed constantly. Kind of interesting. This was, I believe, the second game a Cantor ever appeared in. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he debuted in Freedom 2, which I never played. Oh, I wish I could sever that tail. But then again, in this game, you can't sever it till he's below 30% anyway, so... Not like I would be able to do much about it anyway. But we are certainly going to try our darndest to get rid of these tusks. Oh, apparently the edge of the arena is right there. Got the Sonics ready because if he decides to do a wind tunnel, we could potentially put a stop to it. And let's go ahead and get some stamina back here. No point staying charging up when he's... Yep, that's not a wind tunnel. I should probably be using a Mega Potion right around now. There's no overhealing involved, and this cat doesn't do any healing, so... Yeah, Mega Potion's probably the way to go. And we stopped the roar. There's a flash for him. Oh, that's not the attack I want. That didn't last long at all. I know that when I fought him with friends to get to G rank, in the PSP version, there was lots of flashing going on. I'm beginning to think that may have been just for the sake of keeping him still, but I think there were multiple people probably rotating flashes. He's raging, so I don't believe a Sonic would work right there. This is quite the soft underbelly, and he is not having a good time trying to hit me, though I'm not having a good time camera-ing, and also that. Well, let's go ahead and flash him again. Keep him still at least long enough for that super pound. And that one. It's not hugely helpful, but it is sometime with him being distracted instead of just freely raging. And now he's out of rage. So I think doing that while he's raging is actually quite an acceptable strategy. I just super pounded my cat. Okay, I'm thinking the target cam here is doing more harm than good, considering he's so large that he's gonna take up a lot of my screen if I have target cam actually on. So I'm gonna go ahead and not use it when I'm up close. Look at him drooling. Oh, I got too close to the actual roar. Yeah, he is a drool. Oh. Yeah, you gotta get him. He's gearing up for that. Unfortunately, if my weapon's already out, I can't really do much about it. Seems like the little lava spouts might actually appear in the same positions relative to him every time he roars. At least the last one always seems to be just to the left of his face. His left, that is. I'm gonna need to do a lot more face hitting if I want to get a KO. Or, okay, there can be a KO right then and there. That's fine too. Perfectly acceptable. We take those. Two full rounds before he gets up. We definitely take those. Ow. Oh, wow. That's a surprising amount of damage for that lava spout. Nice belly flop, guy. Have some light. Okay, they're not always in the same positions relative to him. Ow. Okay. Whoop. That would have been lethal. Let's get a little health here. I like having more than no health. It's one of those weird things about me. Yeah, his face wasn't quite where I expected it to be, but honestly, this guy is behaving in a very familiar fashion, which is good for me. He's using all the same moves as usual, but behaving a little bit more robotically. Which means that I shouldn't really have a problem if I don't let myself get hit too much, and I shouldn't end up letting myself get hit too much. Of course, if I go into my combo menu while he's facing me, that definitely does raise the chances a little bit. A little lucky, we managed to get all 5 combines there. Poor cat. You going for me? Oh, you're going for the corner? Well, this doesn't look like it's going to be a wind tunnel. Yeah, that's a scoop. Completely different from a wind tunnel. And yeah, you see what I mean about the target cam actually being more harm than help. Okay. Ooh. Got the tusks. Ow. Problem with being all up in his grill is it is quite easy for him to hit you with that scoop when he's digging. I am going through quite a few potions, but I do have the stuff to make 10 more mega potions and 10 more regular potions to refill. And it occurs to me that sharpening is a thing I must do. Here, have some light. And a KO. Lovely. I actually really like when he tries to do his tail sweep when he's blind, because he recovers from it before the sweep really starts, which means he never actually does the sweep. Means he just sits there being useless the whole time he was blind. Here, have some more light. Oh, not quite in front of you enough, huh? That's fine, there's more where those came from, or where that came from. That was just one flash after all. Oh, look at you double sweeping. Time for us to use another stake. That was a good flash. Look at you doing your non-attacking flash sequence. And there's the chest break. Okay, need purple to not bounce on those back legs. Good to know. So let's go ahead and sharpen, and we do need to use a stake, though we also need to find a good time for it. Now seems good. As long as we can keep him in this particular area of this arena, it's not so bad. It's when he decides to go across the lava river that things start going south. Because said lava river is annoying to cross because there's only 2 crossings. Looks like we've broken his right claw. I don't know whether his back is breakable in this game. I'm going to guess it's not. And if that is the case, then we only have this left claw to break. And I don't believe we've got anything to gain by doing it. But I'm still going to go for it. Hey, look, it broke. I mean, we've got a knockdown to gain. It seems even purple was bouncing off his back legs. Weren't we able to not bounce off his back legs at the start of the quest? What's the deal there? Do they get harder when you break his chest or something? Speaking of his chest, I believe it's actually his weak point, so we'll be attacking here where possible. And where possible is actually pretty often. He doesn't have too many attacks he likes to use against close targets that actually hit under here. Though his main attack against us when we're under there is actually to just consume the camera, as he was doing. It's not an attack that does damage directly, but it is something he can do with his bulk. Oh, you're going right back under, are you? He pops out again. He's getting flashed and then bombed. Or he can be facing the wrong way. That's an option as well. Okay, try your tail sweep. I dare you. Or try to do a charge and move literally nowhere. Yeah, I was a little too close to that bomb, but it did damage to both of us. Really? Got hit by his paw. Take a little drink. Gonna need to combine more flashes next time we get a chance, and looks like that chance is gonna be now. Lucky us, didn't fail a single combine, even though the law of large numbers says that we should have failed one or two. I mean, no, that's on average. The law of large numbers is if you repeat something with a probability assigned to it enough times, like as the number of repeats approaches infinity, the probabilities of occurrence, or the occurrences will approach their probabilities. Oh, he can limp? I did not know that. But I guess we are doing well then. I don't think he does limp in the later games. And we're doing quite well. I've only gone through 10 of my potions. Or 10 of my mega potions, rather. Semi-important distinction. I've gone through none of my potions. Look at me moving to avoid his tail sweep that wasn't going to happen. And hey, he's dead. That was nice and quick. Fairly clean. Not the cleanest that could have happened, but fairly clean. And with that, we are basically done with the village. Yeah, there's only 3 village quests I haven't done, as far as I'm aware. There's the Demon King Diablos, there's the pair of Regengs in the arena and the low-rank quest that's actually high-rank, and then there's the Monster Hunter quest that unlocks when you've done all the other village quests. Oh, yeah. That was a very successful Acantor. And with him going this smoothly here, I imagine it won't be that much harder to solo the one in the guild hall. Might take longer. Will definitely take longer, actually, but still, it'll be very doable. Yeah, the quest could take twice as long, and as long as I don't make stupid mistakes that get me killed, I'll still do just fine. Oh, we get credits now. That makes sense. Or wait, this isn't the credits. This is the... This is an opening scene, isn't it? I actually find it kind of interesting that the gameplay footage we've seen from Monster Hunter World looks almost on par with this pre-rendered cinematic, but with actually much more detail in the environments. It's kind of interesting. By almost on par, I mean like some of the stuff doesn't move around quite as much, like on the gear, the physics on the armor and whatnot. But maybe it does, actually. Certainly there's different lighting on it. I feel like the textures on the gear are actually worse than what we can see in Monster Hunter World's gameplay footage. And on the monster as well. So yeah, we've gotten to a point where gameplay on a modern system can look better than cinematics from here. So yeah, that was an intro video. Oh, now we get credits. All right. All right, I see their game. I've got Ichinose's signature on 2 of my 3DSs. Well, I mean, hey, I can't say this has been an entirely unenjoyable experience, though I also can't say it's been entirely enjoyable. It's been a decent way to kill time from time to time. Like when I'm riding the trains, it's easier to whip out my phone than to whip out a 3DS. And yeah, there's some quests where it's easy to just turn your brain off and go while listening to an audiobook or something. I feel like this is definitely worth its price if you can tolerate it. Also, they're giving us Ukanlos music when we have not fought Ukanlos yet. But yeah, this iOS version of this game is easily the definitive version of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, especially considering you can use a controller with it, though I've been going with touchscreens because, as I said very early on, I feel like the clunkiness of the touch controls matches the clunkiness of the rest of the game, and honestly just makes it more forgivable. Like, there's a lot of upgrades that Monster Hunter Tri brought to the series, and honestly I find all of the games released after this one to be far more enjoyable to play. But this one does still have its charm. It's still got the core Monster Hunter gameplay. Even if minion monsters are out of control, and even if there's some bad hitboxes, some robotic monster designs, and other such things going on, it's still a Monster Hunter game at heart. It's still playable. If you look at it for what it is, a game that came out before Monster Hunter Tri, it's of course good. I wouldn't call this a bad game. It's just not as good as anything that came after, in my opinion. Also, the monster models definitely needed some work. That's why Rathian and Rathalos and Diablos and Monoblos got upgrades. Yeah, it can be nice to see where a game franchise you loved has come from. I said loved past tense. I still do love Monster Hunter. Yeah, it's interesting, like, looking at this as where Tri and later games came from. You can see that they realized a lot of the issues it had, and they worked to address it. And that's actually really cool to be able to see. Like, seeing how far the series has come is pretty great. Yeah, this was worth playing. I wouldn't recommend getting it if you have access to a later Monster Hunter game, unless you're really interested in seeing where it came from. Good job, Trenya. But yeah, it was worth it for me to play. And as always, I hope you folks have enjoyed watching. Of course, this isn't the end of the playthrough. It's just the end of this episode. So join us next time when we start taking on the rare wraths in the guild hall. See you then, friends.